Hey everybody, it's a cold February day here in Las Vegas. Today I'm going to a local spot located in the northwest part of town. This is off the strip and it's about 25-30 minutes from the strip in the Summerlin area in one of the newer shopping districts called downtown Summerlin. I live in the opposite corner of Las Vegas in the Green Valley area, which is Henderson, located in the southeast part of Las Vegas. I hardly ever go to Summerlin because there are so many other things nearby, but there's a new place, fairly new place. It's a fusion restaurant that I've been meaning to go to. I've seen them on Yelp and the pictures looked really interesting. It's been a while since they built downtown Summerlin, but this is actually going to be my first time here. A lot of people like downtown Summerlin. I've heard good things about it. It resembles Town Center, the shopping center that's located at the south part of Las Vegas. So my navigation system failed me because it just took me to downtown Summerlin, but that's a pretty big place. And looking for the restaurant, I had to do a little bit of walking, but I did manage to find it. This is the name of the place. It's called JING, J-I-N-G. This is a new fusion type of restaurant. Now in this area are a number of nice restaurants. I've heard that some of the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team players own restaurants here. It's a very lively and hip place. The place kind of has like a club atmosphere. It had like outdoor seating, beautiful tables, nice lights, and everything looked great.
Amazing.
Ban Ryu, 10,000 ways.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect, yes. And then if I'm not around and you decide to use this, just make sure the spout's facing the shot glass, because otherwise you'll be wearing some of the ice. Yeah. And I'm going to get a little coaster for it.
We arrived during happy hour, which is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and they do have a separate happy hour menu. The prices are cheaper, but you're limited in the items, and also the quantity might not be as much. The hours for the restaurant said they opened at 4 p.m., but I'm not sure if that's entirely true. Hours and prices change all the time, so I recommend you check their website and then call the restaurant to verify. As you can see from the prices, this is a high-end restaurant. The dishes come out in gourmet format. Like I said in my previous videos, large plates with very little food. And of course, above average prices. Now I looked at the menu before we came here, so I knew what we were getting into. But still, the atmosphere of the place, the really nice hip vibe, and the food was supposed to be really good. So we came here and we got a couple of appetizers, and then we decided to try some of their signature dishes. This is the Glacier 51 sea bass. Now the names here get pretty creative, but I asked the waiter why it's called the Glacier 51 sea bass. I found out it's actually a Chilean sea bass. However, because it's the same species that is caught and located above the equator in different waters, they call it the Glacier 51 sea bass. They call these Kobe sliders. It's ground beef served in a soft bun called a bao. This item may have been listed under a different name at different times on their menu. The beef didn't really stand out much. I couldn't really tell if they put regular ground beef or a Kobe ground beef. I don't think it would have made much difference. The sea bass was cooked perfectly. Very soft and tender and flaky. It wasn't overcooked or hard. The sauce complemented it well. I'm not exactly sure everything they put in the sauce. This is a very mild fish. The Chilean sea bass is one of my favorite fish in the world. I love Chilean sea bass. It's not an overpowering flavor. It's very delicate. It's slightly buttery, slightly oceanic, and it's a very high priced item. Anywhere you find this, it's going to be pretty expensive. This is the miso black cod. This is priced a little bit lower than the sea bass. This was also cooked perfectly, not overcooked. The fish was soft and flaky and had a great buttery texture. And it was infused with just the right amount of miso flavoring. It wasn't overpowering, it was just a great complement to the fish. One of the side dishes we got was what they called a truffled wild mushroom dish. It was pretty good, and the portion was a little bit larger. This is what they call the lobster dim sum. I guess they call it lobster dim sum because they wrap it in a wonton wrapper. It's served with a Thai coconut sauce, kind of a interesting fusion of flavors. This item was just okay. The lobster didn't really come through as well. I'll pass on this next time. The scallops were served over what they call a forbidden rice. It's a black rice. The texture of the rice was good. It provided a neat chewing sensation when eaten with the scallops. The scallops were also cooked perfectly. It wasn't overcooked, nice and flaky, and cooked very professionally with a good crust on it. Now I love scallops and everything was perfect. I think the best dish so far was the Glacier 51 sea bass, the miso cod or the miso black cod coming in second, and then the scallops. Everything was great and perfect, and the taste was really good. Except for that, the portions versus the price, it's truly a gourmet. So it's going to be one of those restaurants where after you're done eating, you may still be hungry unless you spend a good fortune. But the quality was top notch. And they did have all those fancy names. The Glacier 51 sea bass, the diver scallops, and the forbidden black rice. It went well with my forsaken sake and my forgotten beer. How's that? I guess the fancy names justify the high price tag, 30 to 50 bucks for 4 or 5 bites. Now the larger dishes here are gonna be your wok items like this crispy honey shrimp. $28 but slightly larger portions. And they do have steaks here for a decent price. I think they have 14, 16 ounce steaks for about $40, $50. But if you don't think about the price, then everything is just excellent. Just that sometimes I think I'd need 2 or 3 of the dishes to get full. I do suggest that you check out the link to their website, and if you're okay with the price, this is a very nice place and a great place to experience some really good food. The atmosphere and the decorations at JING was incredible, and it's located in beautiful downtown Summerlin. For my first trip to downtown Summerlin, this was a really good trip. I had a good time here and the decorations and the scenery was incredibly beautiful. I would come more often, it's just that I live on the other corner of Vegas and there's some nice things over there too. In fact, there's some new places in Green Valley that I'm going to try out next. But all in all, this was a great experience. It was a beautiful night, beautiful decorations. Everything was just perfect. But even though I live on the other side of town, nothing in Vegas is out of reach and everything is pretty easy to get to. Everything is about 20 to 40 minutes drive and not too impossible, especially if I find an interesting new restaurant that serves really interesting food. And this happens to be one of them. For more information, check the link in the description below. And remember that websites are not always up to date, so it's always good to call. And once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.